so when a few weeks later, days later, an elephant was killed on her area, and the Kenya Wildlife Service came along, here she is, and she's arguing with the service about how the elephant died, because the service was saying, it's you community who've killed it. And she said, no, it is not us. And anyway, there was quite an argument, but the nice thing was that she really cares. And now I've got to quickly move on, because I see I'm outrunning my time rapidly, to talk about a broader picture. So, yes, we want to meet this new challenge with community-led anti-poaching efforts on the ground. We also have to look at the far end, and the far end is the people who are buying it. And the people who are buying it have come to Africa because they also make roads, make excellent roads. The Chinese actually bring many benefits to Africa. They have a huge program of development that no other donors are matching at the moment. But the other side of it is that their exports are increasing. Here's over a 6-year period, their exports, the big arrow there, increased by 2,000% of what was coming out in raw resources. Now, in that same period, ivory went from $22 a kilo to $50 a kilo. Now, I think that China has to hold some of the key. And if we in the Victorian era, as European or Americans, plundered our natural resources, if there was no limit, maybe there's a lesson to be learnt there, that we changed our minds. So I think changing minds and new thinking with young people is inherent to humanity, and I'm only echoing what Jane said earlier today. Here's a Chinese railway that's being built to Tibet. Now, the interesting thing is the subtitle, because it's in the subtitle there, they're talking about leaving space for the ungulates to migrate under those great arches. Well, the idea is there. So last year, we were very lucky to meet some sponsors from Indianapolis who had a company that actually builds roads in China, because they got a wonderful kind of mixture of cement and asphalt that works particularly well for finishing roads. And they took us with them, and we went to try to find out how Chinese feel about their own elephants in China. And we went to a place called Xishuangbanna, which is in the south of China, and where the last elephants live in the wild in China.